On the heels of a loss to a stripped Miami Heat team, the Boston Celtics lost their second straight game to the New York Knicks bench Thursday night. I'm Matt Genack reporting for CLNS Media. Welcome into the Boston Celtics newsfeed post-game recap brought to you by DraftKings. The best place for you to win huge cash prizes every single night, and with basketball season back in full swing, DraftKings is the place for one-day fantasy basketball. Head on over to DraftKings.com, armed with a $5 deposit and our promo code CLNS, and you can play for your share of $10,000 in total prizes. Don't wait, use code CLNS at DraftKings.com now to choose your lineup. The Boston Celtics lost to the New York Knicks Thursday night, 102-93 at Madison Square Garden. Boston goes to 26-9 on the season, and New York climbs to 17-14 and tied for 6th in the Eastern Conference. Following Boston's tough loss on Wednesday at home against the undermanned Miami Heat, the Celtics needed to wake up sooner rather than later. Marcus Smart bluntly stated just that following Wednesday's loss at home. Quote, "You leave a team and you want to prove to that team that you should still be there. Kelly kicked our ass, Jonas kicked our ass. We let those guys do that. If this isn't a wake-up call, I don't know what is." Unquote. The Green entered MSG tonight still tops in the conference, but tied in the loss column with the red-hot Toronto Raptors, who are winners of 9 of their last 10 games. Kyrie Irving ended the night with a team-high 32 points to go along with 4 assists. However, the heroics of the night came from the Knicks and their 10-year NBA journeyman and professional scorer, Michael Beasley. Beasley led the Knicks and exploded in the second half. Boston's top defenders could only attempt to slow Beasley down, who continued to back down Semi Ojeleye, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart over and over with utter success. Despite only 4 first-half points for Beasley, he ended the night with a season-high 32. This was the 8th game in 12 nights for the Celtics, who are showing real signs of wear through this tough stretch of schedule. No NBA team has played more games to this point in the season than Boston has, and from coaches and players, they clearly need some rest and practice time as they approach the new year. The Knicks came out firing from the get-go and punched the Boston starters in the mouth as New York quickly gained a double-digit lead after one quarter, 25-15. Celtics coach Brad Stevens instituted a lineup that frequently consisted of 3 rookies, Terry Rozier and Kyrie Irving, to spark some form of offense and energy into the team throughout the game. Boston struggled to hold New York off the glass, losing the rebounding battle 17-8 after just one quarter. With Jaylen Brown and Shane Larkin out with minor injuries from the wear and tear of the schedule and last game, Coach Stevens had to utilize Abdel Nader, who finished the night with 6 points and 2 assists and the very end of his bench to ultimately fall to the Knicks. This game was never a one-sided affair, as Boston was able to cut into the once early 14-point deficit when they entered halftime only down 4, 44-40. This slim lead the Knicks held going into the second half should have been monstrously larger had their 7'3" unicorn Kristaps Porzingis made a single of his 11 shot attempts. With the shocking struggles and tough defense from Boston, the Celtics grinded their way back into a game they had no place competing in at the start. To start the second half, Kyrie Irving came out determined and scored 9 quick points to propel the Green into the lead. And with Porzingis sent to the bench with 1 point in 23 minutes, Boston was able to flip the game in their favor by taking care of the ball and defending without fouling. With their top offensive weapons sidelined and struggling, New York had few options to turn to in the final frame to score points on the still top defensive team in the NBA. With 12 minutes left to play, the low-scoring game was neck-to-neck at 68-all as the Knicks were able to close in on the brief Boston lead with an 11-2 run of their own in the third frame. The Latvian unicorn never returned to action, and the bench of the Knicks began stomping Boston and scoring relentlessly, with Michael Beasley leading the charge in front of the MSG faithful. Before you even realized it, New York had regained their once-lost double-digit lead in the final 5 minutes, and no end was in sight for Boston to control the Michael Beasley onslaught they were a part of. Enes Kanter, who scorched Boston in their earlier season matchup with 16 points and 19 rebounds, 10 of which were offensive, chimed in tonight with another double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds, and only 23 minutes of action. The Knicks starters got to sit back and enjoy the show their role players, the likes of Lance Thomas and Ron Baker, were providing tonight. Without being able to stop the Knicks' isolation offense from scoring, Boston had few opportunities late to cut into the lead. As MVP chants from Michael Beasley rained down from Madison Square Garden, the Celtics were in a hole they were stuck in until the final whistle. Before you knew it, Boston had quickly lost back-to-back games to teams that featured an active roster comprised of primarily young bench players. Boston needs a break and rest, but won't find either until well after the new year. From now until then, the ship remains upright but rocking drastically. As Marcus Smart said, quote, "We need a wake-up call," unquote, and they got another tonight. As Boston looks onward to the hot Chicago Bulls coming to town Saturday night at the Garden, keep your eyes glued to the CLNS YouTube page at youtube.com/CLNS Media for complete Celtics coverage. And be sure to check out clnsmedia.com for all of our content, audio, visual, what have you, all in the same convenient place. Until next time, this has been Matt Genack with the Boston Celtics Newsfeed postgame recap, reporting for CLNS.